All right, GM everyone, thank you all so much again for joining me for another morning of InvArch Weekly Community Calls every Friday. We have a lot of things to discuss, so let's get right into it. If you guys don't know, how I like to start these things off is I usually like to just start off by saying how my week's been, something fun that I did, um, and then something also like exciting in Datsama that happened. So I guess personally on my end, something that was really cool that happened this week is my cousin is visiting here for a week, so I've got to hang out with him like twice so far since he's been here. He's leaving Sunday, but it's just been really cool because we were really close when we were growing up, and then he ended up moving to like several states away. And so he unexpectedly just kind of showed up at my house the other day, and I was like, "Oh my God! Like, what are you doing here? Like, that's crazy." So it was pretty cool, very unexpected, and it's just been fun catching up with him. And then as far as something exciting and exhilarating in Sama that I've done this week, probably just handling the rainbow components for the rainbow tickets and stuff. That was all really interesting just to see like what was the most desired items and stuff regarding like Udal DAO, um, and things of that nature. Like because there was four that was like boom gone, like four items that just went crazy fast. Um, so it was really just it was cool to see whose like items were the most preferred. But that's it for me. Pretty exciting stuff. Pretty fun week. And I know it's been a really fun week for the rest of the team as well. We have Dakota currently and Jake, our developer, is they were at Polkadot Summit yesterday. Unfortunately, they did not get a live streaming of the event, so we did not get to tune in to the GitArch technical discussion. However, I did speak to somebody yesterday. They said they were going to try to record it. I have not confirmed if they did or did not. Fingers crossed that they did, and if they did, if they can get that to us and we can, edit it, make it better quality, whatever we can, and then we will release it for you guys. If that was recorded, we'll get that to you if it's possible, because we would love to hear it as well. So with that being said, we do apologize for that. It was kind of expected that everything would be live streamed, so we were all kind of surprised when we figured out the evening beforehand that there wasn't any like cameras set up or anything to record not just the technical discussion on GitArch, but like any speaker at the event necessarily. I think it came down to whether or not you had your team there to record your speech and stuff, which is why I think we do have a recording of it. I'm just not sure how great the quality of it is, but I don't know for certain, so I'll have to confirm. But with that being said, AJ, do you want to share with the community how something about your week that was really fun and something in Sama that was really fun?
Yeah, for sure. Sort of an update from last week, but in terms of like my personal health and whatnot, been exercising a lot more, going on more walks, and if you don't know, um, walking and cardio in general is truly like good for your health. And like the more that you do it, the more that you'll feel it. Like you'll feel the benefits of it actually, and you'll have a clearer headspace. For example, you're able to focus more, and you feel more like liberated. So yeah, that's been going really well for me. Been currently averaging like between 7,500 and 10,000 steps per day. Um, and that's just a mix of like walking and hiking and stuff. So that's exciting for me. And in terms of Datsama, I've actually, I mean, if you haven't noticed, I am quite present within the ecosystem, so I do my best to like go around, talk to different people, as well as those that I usually talk to. And it's been awesome to hear, for one thing, people excited about IP staking on Tinkernet. And another is like we've gotten actually like a few compliments, or I'd rather say quite a few compliments, on like our marketing and our engagement and how present we are in the community as like a project. And honestly, I think that's just absolutely wonderful. It's extremely rewarding to hear, as well, being part of the marketing team here at the InvArch Network. But also, for those of you listening in the community right now, I mean, thank you to all of you as well, because without your help, we wouldn't be here today. And for those that truly do continue to support us and to really push the vision and the realization, the adoption of the InvArch network and its technology, your work goes unnoticed. So, yeah.
Yeah. That was great, AJ. Thank you. I would totally agree with what you said there, and I think it's interesting too because one of the things I think is one of the reasons why people say like our founders are like insanely active on social media and stuff like that too for being founders. Like, how do they have time for it? Are they robots? Do they ever sleep? I think what you have to understand is they're coming from a standpoint where these are all things that they wanted to use as tools themselves. It wasn't that they seen this as an opportunity to make money and make their name in .sum or anything of that nature. No, they couldn't have cared less about any of that, to be honest. I know them personally well enough, I would like to think, that I can vouch for them there. They were devs, die hard at that, and they wanted these tools, they wanted these resources to be able to utilize, and they didn't exist, simply put. And they looked at that and said, well, we can do better. And since nobody else is building it, who's going to step up to the plate and do it other than the people who want it themselves? So they stepped up to the plate and they began, I would say honestly, it was kind of like lightning pace. Just seeing how fast everything moved, because InvArch really came together around, late summer, early fall last year. That was when the team formed and everything, and just to see how far we've come in basically just a year's time, with a little bit of months added on at this point. It's truly astonishing, just to see the amount of support that we've had. So once again, on top of what AJ said, of course, thank you all so much for that. With that being said, though, we can go ahead and kind of get right on into some of the discussion topics. First one being GitArch. I really, really do wish that we did have the recording of the GitArch technical discussion already available for you guys, because if so, I would be kind of probably talking about some of the things that was shared in that discussion today. But if that gets released, we'll be talking about that next Friday on top of just basically how exciting the event was. And then, so to keep you all updated, though, with GitArch, the private beta event is still ongoing. It is going really great from everything that we've been told on the marketing team here. The devs have been excited. They've been extremely busy with it, but it's been an extremely rewarding and fun experience for them so far, and I know they've enjoyed basically every minute of it. But it's been really cool to see. On top of that, we did share this last week. However, I just wanted to go ahead and reiterate this because it is very, very cool. I'm going to share this in the chat in just a second, but this is a little private demonstration, if you will, for how the private beta testers are actually creating new repositories on GitArch. And our front-end developer, Pedro, shares this. Excuse me, guys. My throat's kind of sore today. There we go. Okay, just drop that in the chat. Like I said, I did share that with you all last week as well, but it's just really, really cool to once again check out. And then that's pretty much all that we have as an update so far for GitArch this week. However, you guys can anticipate next week we will have more to talk about regarding this subject. Right now, everything has been kind of closed in the bag, if you will, on the private beta, seeing how well things are going, and things have been going great. So we're excited to share further news and testimony regarding that next week. AJ, before I close on GitArch, there wasn't a ton to discuss over this week. Is there anything that you'd like to add on GitArch that I might not just be thinking of off the top of my head?
I believe that is everything
Okay.
so far.
Okay, I like to be certain. I was I go through every week before this, and I make sure that I've basically captured all the past events in a week. But yeah, just to reiterate the last little bit on GitArch, if that video becomes available at any point today or over the weekend, we will get it to you guys. And we'll also be present on the knowledge base if you guys utilize that Notion page. But with that being said, we can move on into the next subject, being InvArch. So this was also mentioned last week, but it is important to re-mention this. So if you guys didn't catch this, are you or your team interested in building using the most powerful technology and building blocks in Web3? If so, please sign up to be notified when applications for the multi-chain InvArch Builders program are made available. And there's a link so you can go and actually sign up for that. If you or anyone you know would be interested in this, please register for that. This is something that we've talked a lot about privately, and there's big aspirations for this, big visions for this to really take off and be something like that's truly a multi-chain builders program. So with that being said, if that sounds like your bread and butter, please go ahead and sign up and register for that. Somebody asked for a shared link to the Notion. Yes, I can share a link to the Notion really quickly, actually. I have it pulled up here. Just let it load. It's kind of slow. Share. Okay. Copy the link. All right. And here we go. I'm going to drop the link now and respond to you just so you specifically get notified. But with that being said, there's the multi-chain InvArch Builders program. Also, there's a lot of you guys who I know have Telegram or possibly even Reddit, and you guys have not either joined, like we have a Telegram announcements channel. For those of you guys who don't always pay attention to Discord, if you're in like 80 different Discords, I know the notifications can get kind of spammy. So if you're like, hey, I don't want to miss a notification, it's really good to be part of the Telegram group specifically because it is strictly an announcements channel. There's no spam messages. Nobody else is like messaging in there. It's just announcements. Simple as that. So if that sounds like your guys' kind of thing and you want to make sure you don't miss an announcement, please check out the tweet I just dropped in the community calls chat, and there's also a link to our Reddit channel. For those of you all who don't have a Reddit or you do have a Reddit and want to join, I highly encourage you to. We do try to get engagement on our Reddit right now. Right now, our Reddit's probably only around 200 members, so there's not that much engagement on there right now. We'd like to see that change. We'd love for you to join in the conversation there as well. I would say Discord, Twitter, and Reddit are just kind of like our social platforms that we kind of like tend to. And then once again, the Telegram is strictly for announcements. So if you guys kind of want to avoid, if you just want the announcements and you don't want to be a part of the conversation, that's your choice. That's fair. And if that's the case, then I would highly recommend you guys just join the Telegram group. Excuse me. With that, also, I would like to say, with InvArch, it was kind of funny. Tinkernet kind of derailed the plans for InvArch because at first it was like, no, we're not going to do a Kusama chain. And then we were like, yeah, we are. So it kind of derailed the plans for InvArch a little bit. However, I've been getting a lot of people asking me, like, when is InvArch going to be going for a parachain slot and all this stuff? And I can tell you, we're going to time everything right. A lot of that was going to be based on the success of the LBP, like trying to determine when the perfect time would be for us to go for that type of thing. And I can tell you, with the success of the LBP, we're optimistic. But I can't give you guys like any specific dates or even a timeline as to when to expect that, other than to know that like we feel very confident moving forward that when that time comes, we will secure a parachain. Not to say that we're arrogant. We're still going to, encourage tons of support with the community and do some pretty awesome stuff as we've done with everything else that we've done so far. So far, I would say basically every event that we've had, people have there's been a lot of good participation and a lot of people left very, very rewarded and happy. And so we'd like to see that trend continue. InvArch is going to be a super major driving catalyst for true intellectual property ownership and also censorship resistance for the creator economy in Web3 and beyond, because we know Web3 is the future now. It's not the future in 10 years from now. So that's just something to keep in mind. Tinkernet is, of course, the first step now. It's the spark of innovation on the Kusama network, but InvArch is still its own beast, and I don't want anybody dismissing it. There's still a lot more to come with InvArch, of course, in the future. We have been, really focused on Tinkernet with the LBP, and then it was the crowd loan first, and securing the parachain and all this stuff. So with that being said, I just want to reiterate to everybody, do not sleep on InvArch. We still have major, major exciting things planned for that. Also, last week, I actually did not catch this tweet, and I felt really bad because it was a really freaking cool graphic. So October 27th, I feel like I should highlight the date. Polkadot Insider tagged us, InvArch, and said, "We are the leading edge layer 1 network for the creator economy. Let's see the technology build anything and everything on chain." And they have a really, really cool graphic. That's kind of what I was wanting to more or less share with you guys. But of course, actually go to their tweet. And if you think that graphic's cool, maybe give them a follow, maybe give that tweet a like specifically. But it was really cool. Shout out specifically to Richie for sending that over to me, because I don't know how I missed it. I'm always checking out Polkadot Insider, but that one slipped by me. So I appreciate that. It was definitely a really cool graphic, and also it's always a pleasure to be shouted out, especially through mouthpieces of the ecosystem and voices of Dotsama. It's always a pleasure getting recognition for that. AJ, before I kind of move on from InvArch, is there anything you would like to incorporate as well on this, or anything that you'd like to, kind of hype the community up to look forward to?
I mean, I'm pretty excited about IP staking for sure, and for that to be first rolled out. I mean, if you haven't seen it already, we released a Twitter thread on the Tinkernet at Tinker Parachain account that goes through a pretty fundamental explanation of how IP staking, or rather Tinker staking, will work once it gets deployed. So yeah, that's exciting for me.
Okay, perfect. Because I'm actually, just in a second, I'm going to cover that thread because it was really good. So once again, that's everything that I have to update you guys so far on InvArch for this week. Regarding Tinkernet, so we've been hyping this up. OSIF is coming to Tinkernet first. It's going to be with the InvArch Network's OSIF protocol. It's going to be first deployed on Tinkernet. Now, it's, to summarize it in the shortest way possible, it's ideas, you share them, you get community feedback, given funding, and you're fueled. You have a runway. So it's really, really interesting to see how this is going to, it's philanthropy-based staking, essentially. So it's really, really cool. It's something that, back in the day, you would have thought that something like this would have already existed, just because it sounds common sense, to be fair. Philanthropy-based staking, supporting things that you genuinely support, rather than just trying to make profit on, whoever makes the most money. So it's really cool to be part of a team that's, pioneering this. OSIF is definitely one of the three, core protocols that create InvArch. And so seeing OSIF come first to Tinkernet and finally get deployed in the very, very near future is going to be freaking awesome. I know AJ's reiterated it like twice on here. We've been talking about it a lot. We've been talking to our devs a lot about it because they understand it probably better than anybody, of course. They're the ones building it. And so to hear what they have to say about it and how lucrative this is going to really be, and a rewarding experience for not only the staker, but the person who's receiving the actual, staked IP rewards, that is going to be crazy. And it's just really cool to think that we're right there. Because months ago, it felt like we were talking about OSIF and this philanthropy-based staking model, and it was just like, this sounds so cool, but I can't picture it in my mind. I can't picture that in action. And so to have it here, have a well thought out protocol, and to see it about to be executed, likely this month, that's freaking beyond exhilarating. Regarding the actual staking though, like Tinker staking, so I'm just going to do an actual read along of this thread because it's great. I don't know if you guys have caught it yet or not, but for some of you guys, I know I get several messages usually after the end of these thanking me for like reading through this with English because not all of our audience can read English or speaks it that well, but they understand it. So with Tinker staking coming soon to my blockchain, this opens up a whole new world of opportunity for Dotsama and Web3. That was obviously from the voice of third person being Tinkernet. Let's explore what Tinker staking is all about and why it will be powerful for the ecosystem. So what is Tinker? Tinker is Tinkernet's native token to Tinkernet. It is the lifeblood that fuels innovation, development, and transactions on Tinkernet, and it can be used to mint IP assets, vote on governance proposals, cover transaction fees, and even more. What is Tinker staking? Tinker staking is a groundbreaking component of what will be known as the OSIF protocol. With Tinker staking, you'll be able to stake your Tinker tokens to the network by choosing 0 to various staked IP sets. In other words, as a Tinker staker, you will be able to choose an idea that you are absolutely fond of and truly support, and then stake your Tinker with it. For example, a group consisting of 3 developers and a marketing expert create an IP set that consists of a project, plans, etc., to create the world's first printer that never needs more ink on Tinkernet, but they're lacking the funds to get kickstarted. You, as a Tinker staker, happen to like and therefore become determined to support this idea through its development. You decide to stake your 10,000 Tinker to this IP set. By staking your Tinker, you are supporting an idea, IP set, that you truly believe deserves yours and others' support. By supporting such projects on my blockchain, Tinkernet, you are helping to create and establish intellectual property value. Note, Tinker staking rewards and therefore Tinker token dilution are locked to 10% inflation each year of the total Tinker supply. This ensures that Tinker holder dilution are, as Crane puts it, kept in check, while it gives significant opportunity for early investors. To help illustrate Tinker staking in a more numeric and financial data fashion, Crane's article below breaks down the generous rewards for Tinker stakers. I'll share this link to this thread as well, so if you guys want to go back after this and have a link to Crane's article, if you guys haven't heard me read through it before or haven't read it yourself, you have that opportunity. To highlight Crane's article, unvested tokens will not be subject to inflation. Early investors can look to add another 25 to 45% in the first 3 months of staking, and if 9.62% of Tinker holders stake their tokens on chain, it will give rise to an APY of 328%. How can I get some Tinker? You'll need a wallet like Talisman Wallet or Nova Wallet. Purchase some KSM through your wallet of choice. Buying it on a centralized exchange means you'll need to transfer it from your centralized exchange wallet to your wallet of choice. After buying KSM, you'll need to bridge it to Basilisk using either Karura or Nova Wallet, depending on how you're doing this. If you're doing it by laptop, I highly recommend you do Karura. If you're doing it via your phone or mobile, use Nova Wallet. So if you're doing it, though, for example, based off this thread, a Karura network, you connect your wallet, you choose Kusama under the origin, you choose Basilisk under the destination chain, you enter the KSM amount, and you click transfer and confirm the transaction. With that being said, then you head over to Basilisk app and you connect your wallet. You choose KSM under Pay With, choose Tinker under You Get, enter KSM amount that you want to trade, and you click on Swap and confirm your transaction. Tinker staking, it breathes new life to innovation, it revitalizes on-chain philanthropy, brings ideas and projects to life, and it's going to go live soon. So it is recommended by all of us here at the team that everyone, if you're wanting to seriously benefit from this, if you're wanting to be part of something historic, taking part in some of the first philanthropic IP asset like rewards, I seriously encourage you guys to hold on to your bags. This is going to be something that's really, really exciting, and I think it's going to be truly groundbreaking and inspiring to other projects as well in the ecosystem. And I will say that is one thing that here at InvArch and Tinkernet, and honestly throughout this entire ecosystem, I would say it's the general attitude is not this attitude of competition. Like, how can someone do something better to put somebody else out of business? It's you have these teams focusing on certain niches, and like our niche is clearly IP assets, DAOs, NFTs, those types of things, right? That's our niche. That's what we like. That's what we focus on. And so seeing this take place this way it's really interesting. Excuse me, my voice just keeps giving out. But with Tinker Staking, it once again going live soon. I'm exhilarated to see what kind of things are going to be available to stake to, and what kind of opportunities are going to arise from this. If that's an insane APY based off Crane's projection. Now, it's obviously all determined on based off how many people are actually staking, etc. But you guys can look at that thread for yourself and also visit that article to get a look at his financial analysis / projections of how rewarding and lucrative this Tinker staking can truly be. I think it was more shocking, to be honest, when I read through it than I was expecting it to be. When I seen like the APY, I was like, holy crap. But anyways, it's very, very cool. If you guys haven't checked out that financialist analysis, I highly recommend you do. With that being said, AJ, do you have anything else you would like to add on Tinkernet? Anything else that they should be excited looking forward to regarding OSIF?
It's kickstarting and crowdfunding, but in Web3, and it's a beast. And we haven't even done it. Like, I haven't even done it yet. Like we're not at that level yet, but I know that it's going to be super rewarding. So just to reiterate that.
Yeah, thank you, AJ. With that being said as well, guys, I don't know if any of you guys are fans of Subsocial, or maybe you're a member of Spacer DAO. But if you are, and if you purchased a Spacers NFT and you want to show off your support for Tinkernet, please check out the message or the tweet that I just dropped in the community calls chat. So there is a Tinkernet patch that you can get for your Spacers NFT robot by entering the code BIGBRAINS. For more details, please check out the tweet that I just dropped there. But if you want to rock Tinkernet on your Spacer NFT, we'd love to see your support. It's always cool. There's been a lot of projects actually having these badges to rep their Spacer NFT. So if you guys would love to represent us, we'd love to have you do so. I think they look really freaking cool, to be honest. But yeah, with that being said as well, there is a lot more to NFTs than what people focus on. So usually when you talk to somebody about NFTs, they just think like, JPEGs, profile pictures, collectibles, resources in my game, that type of thing. Because of InvArch, your idea, a DAO, a dApp, a smart license, even your own repository, can all be minted as omni-composable NFTs, aka IP sets and IP files on Tinkernet. Everyone just kind of focuses on these small things. And this was one of the things that was always really cool to me when we were first starting up InvArch, because at the time, Dakota and Gabe were, really going at it with this whole, how we were going to revolutionize NFTs with IP assets at the same time, because this is what we were talking about, ironically. It was, NFTs right now, they're basically just focused on art or music or, small little videos. And while that's really cool, this technology could be used for so much more than that. And it could be so much more revolutionary if we just thought bigger and used it on a larger scale for more important things. And of course, when it comes to, IP assets, for example, everyone wants to know that their stuff is secure. Everyone wants to know that things are safe, that it can't be lost, it can't be stolen, etc. They want to know that they're protected. And so it was honestly a huge beast to try to tackle. How are we going to provide, these different realities for people to be able to use, these different tools, these different protocols to be able to help people be able to achieve this decentralized, kind of take back of ownership over their IP rights that we wanted to see happen. And so we're happy to say a year later, we're actually there. Look, mom, we made it, so to say, kind of a joke, you know. But yeah, it's been a crazy road, and it's been really exhilarating, um, to say the least. I know as well we have some more exciting events planned for this month. So if you guys did know as well, Gabe is actually, he was probably currently is still giving an AMA right now. I'll actually drop a link to that here because I still have one more subject, but for anybody, if you guys wanted to go and check that out once this is over, I'll probably hop over there as well and see if this is still ongoing and see if I can catch a part of it because I was kind of sad that I had to miss it for the community call. But you guys are the most important thing to us. So there's the link to that AMA, by the way. But Gabe will be speaking as well in Lisbon at the Sub-Zero event. So if you guys are going to be in the area, if you're in Europe and you can hop over there to Sub-Zero, I highly recommend you do it. It's going to be really, really cool. I unfortunately won't be able to attend. I wish I totally could because it's, from what I hear, it's going to be one of the coolest and biggest like events around, especially regarding like the developer mindset and stuff. And I always like picking their brains because they always have such a genuine, in-depth way of thinking about how to solve these problems. And it's really cool to always give kind of like a user's perspective or opinion, and just see how when you do that and their brain with problem solving, you with the experience that you want to see, and how you guys can come together and truly build something incredible. With that being said, though, that's pretty much all I have for you guys regarding this week on Tinkernet. I'm sure next week I'll have more to talk about regarding Tinkernet. We always have a lot of exciting things going on regarding Tinkernet right now. For the last little subject, of course, being UDL. So if you guys don't know, I try to keep up on all the rankings and stuff for you guys. So we're still the fourth top collection on Remark of all time. Once again, probably getting to that third spot might be a little bit more difficult, but we're working on it. We're climbing. And then we were the second collection on Remark so far for the past month. And weekly, we were setting at collection number 4. There was like one NFT that sold for like a ridiculous amount. I think it was like a Kusama King or a Kusama Queen. And that's why they were like setting in the number 3 spot for this past week. So also there's a 10 KSM floor price right now. And once again, I highly recommend you guys, before the bonfire event does take place, and once again, we apologize for the delays on this. We just have to make sure everything is perfect for when that does occur. If you guys do not have a UDL ticket yet, I do highly encourage it. I'm going to reiterate it because it's going to be the first DAO where the Daoist CDK is truly unleashed as a beast. So if you want to be one of the first people to get to experience that, that's where you have to be at. Secondly, it is kind of a limited space, so to say. There's only ever going to be 1,001 UDLs. So if, you can obviously own multiple, so it's not like there's going to be 1,001 members for certain in the DAO at any given point in time. But that's also something else to remember, is that there's not going to be more spots open up. Okay, you're either going to be one of the 1,001 that has a UDL, or you're not. And if you're not, you aren't in the DAO. Lastly, one of the things that I'd like to reiterate about why I think right now is a great time to get a UDL ticket. So one, the tickets are honestly still rather low floor price volume wise from what we anticipate things kind of going up to, or at least from what I anticipate it going up to. That's not financial advice, by the way, either. That's just speculation. But right now it's looking at about a 10 KSM floor price. So last time I checked, which was last night right around 7 o'clock, the volume was 3,315.4 KSM at that time. So things have been going, once again, extremely well, especially for the short duration that UDL DAO has existed. There's been a lot of hype and a lot of motivation behind it, and it's been really, really cool to be a part of it. Lastly, the rainbow tickets. So rainbow tickets were redeemed. Now, individuals have not been sent their rainbow items yet. That was only basically you choosing which items out of the catalog you wanted and getting them confirmed. So there was some confusion regarding that. I had a lot of messages like, "Yo, I don't have my NFTs. Like, where are they at?" They haven't been sent to you yet. For any one of you guys who might be listening to this later on or currently, but it was just you guys confirming your items for now. Now, also on top of that, if you did not submit a rainbow ticket, but you have one, don't worry. There will be a future opportunity to get it submitted. Right now, this was the first one, so we have to prioritize the way in which these things were done. With that being said, as well, I've been getting a ton of messages regarding the DAO CDK again. So I would like to reiterate to everybody, it's been about a month and a half since I kind of gave like a detailed explanation or reread through of this thread regarding what the DAO CDK truly is. So the DAO CDK provides the most advanced and intuitive framework ever seen across Web3 for building on-chain organizations. Before we begin reviewing the architecture of the DAO CDK, which is built using a fusion of powerful innovations introduced between InvArch and Tinkernet, and of course Fala Network as well, let's take a peek at how things currently work today. So typically most DAOs today operate through Discord servers. These aren't true DAOs as they are not decentralized, autonomous, nor are they actual organizations. A single account acts as the server owner who has absolute control over the server. They are essentially God there. Limitations include relying on trust and a single account at that, and a disconnect from Web3 assets, solutions, and of course governance. Discord is a powerful and familiar way to congregate together as a community, yet a very poor platform to actually launch a real DAO. However, that's all changing, thankfully. We asked, what if the server was owned by a bot, and what if the bot was created using a smart contract? What if NFTs and tokens streamlined server governance, and what if Discord was only a UI tool? The problem is, this isn't typically possible. However, thanks to the powerful innovations made by Fala Network and their introductions of the FAT contract, this idea is possible. A FAT contract deployed on Fala can launch a bot that owns a Discord server. But then the team had another question, of course. What if the FAT contract was actually owned by an IP set on InvArch Network? Then advanced multi-signature solutions could be applied over the server through the bot via FAT contract calls. At this point, the team realized so much more is possible than just decentralized ownership and gated access controlled on-chain in a transparent manner. Now, Discord communities can utilize fungible IP tokens on InvArch via a Fala FAT bot, treasuries, rep, experience, and more. Place the power of InvArch Network's innovative and robust multi-signature solutions over top of all of this, and the abilities for on-chain governance, reputation, building, and tracking, and economies becomes limitless. But this is, of course, the InvArch team we're talking about here. The minds of Dakota and Gabe are on a mission to fully expose the potential of the InvArch protocol currently live on Tinkernet. This is where owning a UDL becomes truly amazing. UDLs are extremely composable NFTs thanks to the Remark app standard, which is also present in the InvArch protocol. These allow UDLs to consist of other multiple, nested, and multi-resource assets. NFTs made of NFTs. However, InvArch takes us even further. The InvArch protocol is an extension of the Remark standard. With it, powerful enhancements are wrapped around these base NFTs, which can fine-tune and customize. With UDLs, these include voting power, access, reputation, and groups. Not only are individual UDLs enhanced by the power of the InvArch protocol, but the UDLs collection as a whole is enhanced as well. One of the most powerful components of the InvArch protocol are its multi-class fungible tokens called IP tokens, or IPTs for short. They are dynamic and allow for advanced systems to exist, and they can feature non-transferable fungible tokens as a feature of an NFT. Additionally, thanks to IPTs, UDL DAO itself will be able to tap into advanced and trustless economic models called SEPA protocols. SEPA protocols are a revolutionary byproduct of InvArch. The UDL DAO constitution itself will be deployed as a smart license, and a smart license is what governs governs an IP set. Smart licenses are a utility-specific type of smart contract first designed for IP assets. However, they can transform any NFT into an advanced DAO. Furthermore, UDL as an IPS will be staked to the Tinker parachain using its on-chain innovation funding protocol, which realized NFT staking. That means that the UDL treasury will generate funding directly from the Tinkernet parachain. To top that off, not only will UDL and all of its governance be handled on-chain using all of these crazy innovations, but every asset owned by the DAO can and will be owned on-chain. Using INV4, anything and everything can be built on-chain. And that means every and any project incubated by UDL can be stored on-chain. Using the upcoming InvArch dApp, project repositories can be stored on-chain as IP sets and connected with the power of NFT staking for additional funding. Soon things are going to ramp up for UDL, and UDLs will be the first to pioneer this expansive and powerful technology. This is not your average NFT collection. This is the leading edge of NFT utility and DAO solutions. This is what UDL is. So if you guys are not bullish yet, I hope reading through that thread again kind of reiterated to you guys the true power that's coming here. And just how significant this is for not only InvArch network itself and all of the ecosystem, really, because it's not just going to be us that gets to utilize this. I love using the term utilize because it's UDL. It's kind of funny, punny, if you will. But yeah, no, I mean, getting to be able to utilize these types of technologies is incredible. And we hope to share this with the entire rest of the ecosystem. Of course, we're going to test everything here first for our community. So if you guys want to be a part of it, once again, I highly encourage you, if you can, to get a UDL ticket. With that being said, that is everything to wrap up as far as updates for this week regarding UDL, Tinkernet, InvArch, and GitArch. AJ, do you have anything else to add on anything that we talked about today?
Let's see here. Sub-Zero. We went through spacers. We went through Tinker staking. I mean, I would say I would like to just reiterate one part of the conversation, which is our Telegram and Reddit. You guys, all of you make up the community. And it just would be super awesome to, have more people engaged in these other platforms that we're on. Because that increases our reach, that increases our engagement, obviously, that increases coverage of InvArch information, news updates, and essentially going a little bit more technical in terms of marketing here, but and like community as well. But if you haven't noticed, Telegram and Reddit, those kinds of platforms, those are platforms where it's all about the community. It's all about you.
AJ, I don't know if you meant to, but you just muted yourself, buddy.
Oh. Where did I stop?
You said it's all about you, and then you got muted.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I don't know what happened. I swear I wasn't muted. Sorry, guys. But what I'm saying is, yeah, it's all about you. Like, we're not asking this. I'm not personally asking this out of, personal gain or, self-serving needs. Like, really, the more people that come to know the InvArch network, come to know, and that includes GitArch, that includes UDL, that includes the Daoist CDK, that includes Tinkernet. The more people that come to know the InvArch network, the more rewarding and gratifying it will be for the entire community long term. So like, if you feel that you have something to talk about, if you feel that you want to bring light to a certain topic, to a certain conversation, if you want to start something, start your own thread on Reddit, spark up conversation on like Telegram, those things really do help the project, because this isn't just a project for myself and the team. It's the project for the entire community, right? Like, we're all in this together. We're all working together. We're all striving to bring solutions to NFTs, to DAOs, to IP, and to really just overall, in general, like to find and innovate solutions to solve the world's ever-growing problems. So yeah, that's what I'd like to highlight.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Well, thank you, AJ. Once again, as always, for joining me for our community calls. It's always a pleasure to have somebody else on the stage here with me to kind of engage with. I will as well. The audience is always, of course, invited if you guys ever want to unmute yourselves, engage in conversation. I know not everybody speaks English though, so that's not always the case.
I will do that.
There's Richie.
Thank you, everybody. Hello, my name's Richie, and I'm an alcoholic. Oh, wrong group. Anyway, the point is, guys, I couldn't agree more with AJ. I have a very similar mentality about this. I'm in for the long haul with InvArch, not only as a person who is going to be holding Tinker tokens and Varch tokens as well, because I do think that by everybody contributing, that is only going to help what we have individually, but collectively also. Anyone who's joining me on Twitter, for example, I like everybody's back. I go through my Twitter feed very regularly. People that post things, I like them all back because it's the only way that we're going to grow, and that's really together. I really believe in what InvArch is doing here. I love the tech, and I'm fully on board. I really think that this is more of what the world needs, and I can understand it. I can see the future of it. I'm absolutely on board. We can all do this together. And so the more we create, the more we let people know, the more we stay active, it can only grow. Thank you, AJ. Thank you, Casey.
Thank you, Richie. That was beautiful. If you guys didn't see, wag me, everybody. Absolutely.
Thank you, Richie.
It's always like we always love hearing community support. It's always fantastic to get. With that being said, guys, thank you all once again so much for joining me for another beautiful InvArch Weekly Community Call. Some nasty weather outside, but a beautiful community to share this morning with. Thank you all once again for being engaging and also extremely respectful. I will say that is one of the things I always appreciate so much about you guys is in other community calls, I do often see people have to be like forcibly muted because they're interrupting and things, and our community like never does that. So I'd like to kind of give a small little like hand clap to you guys, just pat you guys on the back. You guys are always an extremely respectful audience, and I, as your host for these weekly community calls, have always greatly appreciated that so much. Once again, thank you all just for joining me this morning, and I will see you all next week for another InvArch Weekly Community Call. Hopefully we'll have the GitArch technical discussion for you at that time if that did get recorded. If not, I apologize. I will let you guys know then as well if that's the case. But with that being said, I will see you all next week. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your weekend and a good week next upcoming. See you all, guys.
Take it easy, everyone. Have an awesome week.
Thank you, Casey. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, Joseph.